Really washed out there.
Oh, I see.
You can,
all right.
Yeah, you can stand.
All right. We still have music playing? Yeah. And I just have the mic there. We can just turn it on. All right.
What do you say, Zimmer?
We're good. I'm just gonna, Dakota's just gonna advance the slide since the clicker was dead.
All right.
So.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody.
All right, thank you so much. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Okay, good. Okay, good. I didn't know if I needed to get like an initiation or something or get a suggestion. All right, if you hadn't get a chance to eat, please, we have food. For those who don't know me, I'm Paul Stein. I'm the executive director of Kickstand. We have Chris. Thank you so much. We have Kristen Shear, education. Michael Zimmer, programming manager. And Kara Moore, who can't be here tonight, operations. So I just want to shout out to everybody. All right, so let's hit that slide.
Dakota in the booth.
Dakota in the booth. All right, there we go. So this is what we're going to talk about. So obviously, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for attending. We are going to look at the purposes to review the past 6 months, what's been happening here at the theater with all of you. Provide updates, info, overview of specific departments, and this meeting is also for you. So it's an opportunity. We have received questions already. We're going to answer those questions, but if you have more, this is really a dialogue. This is what should a town hall be, talking about our space, our organization. So I'm going to start off with some highlights while Michael is checking things. All right, Dakota, let's move forward. Okay, so these are some of the areas. I'm going to go very quickly of what we're going to talk about. And so let's start off just because our last town hall was back in May. So the very first event that happened was Comedy in the Park. So let's go to that. So we had a really successful Comedy in the Park. Thank you for everybody that was involved. The guesstimate of the numbers was we had between 26,000 and 28,000 people that attended for 10 dates. And we had 2 rainouts. So first time in 5 years we actually had rainouts. So it was on me, I'm sorry. But
It's not your fault.
it's not my fault. But maybe I did it, I don't know. But as for production, I thought we were very happy on what we were trying to do, the presentation of it, the event. Obviously, there's so many people to thank, and I'm going to quickly do that, but Rochelle and Julie and Adam Vara, who really put it together. It really is a big lift in itself. It's in a show within itself. We were in the black for it. It's a production that costs a lot of money to put on. Those permits are expensive. Those toilets are expensive. And the fact that we actually made a profit and we put out a budget this year and we were looking at the line items and we went forward is fantastic. But also a reason why we were in the black is because of all these sponsors. Some of them were fiscal sponsors that donated money. Some of them were just in-trade sponsors. And this is something that we need to do. It's not a sense of selling out, it's more about awareness, letting people know who we are. The biggest goal with this event is obviously to try to raise money for our affinity programs, BIPOC programs, education programs. That's what the donations are going for. It's not to buy the building. It's to help support it. But the bigger goal is to get these people from Comedy in the Park to come to this venue. And that's what systematically we're going to try to do better job this year. We've already been approved for dates for 2026. We already have the permits. We're going to try, out of the 12 dates, for 3 of the dates to have vendors. So we're going to try to have food, maybe alcohol if we can get a beer garden, people to sell things. Those increase vendor permits on those days, park permits, but that's what we're going to try to do. So already we're looking at the budget of what we can accomplish. I met with a donor and I received, for Comedy Park 2026, I obtained a $2,500 donation with a matching grant from Nike and Truist. So right now we're at $7,500 for it. And that's what we need to do. And part of the sponsorships is really about spreading the word out about this organization. So many times when I would go to meetings at Prosper Portland or Travel Portland, and I'm meeting other businesses and organizations, and they say, "Where are you from?" And I say Kickstand. Proudly I say Kickstand. And they're like, "Oh, I'm not too sure." And they go, "Comedy in the Park?" "Oh yeah." I want them to say, "Oh, the venue on Hawthorne?" "Yes." "The organization that puts on shows and classes?" "Yes." Comedy Park is fantastic, but we need to make this place just as important and vital for people to know about it. Make sense? But once again, thank you, Rochelle, and also, more importantly, all the volunteers that were there. It meant a lot for going out there. Dan was there at every show and got donations for us. So thank you, Dan.
Yeah, Dan. And Lynn helped organize the volunteers, so thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Maybe Paul would be shy to shout out. Shouldn't.
And then obviously all the comics, right? It was really nice to have a lot of the comics come in and perform. All right, so now let's go to the next slide. I'm happy to announce that we have a subtenant next door, and it's X-Ray. So they have signed the lease. We got their first and last last week. Yes, we have got some money. We get some money.
We're landlords.
We're landlords now. Keep it down. Keep it down. Right? I'll tell them to keep it. You know. It has been a very long road to get there. A lot of it had to do with the city and permitting and waiting, and is it going to work out, and this and that. I think it's really going to be a wonderful collaboration. The goal is for X-Ray FM to have their recording and sound studios right next door. They're also going to implement video studios that they can film. The goal is also then to get cameras in here for our shows, that they're going to help with that. They're also a nonprofit. So together, combined, we can try to have a nonprofit organization for bigger grants, bigger things. That's what we're trying to do. I think also what we need to do with Hawthorne in this is, because as I go to these Travel Portland meetings, they're all focusing on downtown. And we got to focus on the Central East Side and us in Hawthorne. So I'm trying to make this the entertainment corridor in a way, if we can promote that. Because the Punk Club Analog is opening up. Then we have X-Ray, then we have us, then we have Desert Island Studios, then we have Shaking the Tree, then we have 2110. Why not make this the entertainment district of Portland? Why not we focus and bring people here? So that's something as a goal that I'm going to try to talk to these Prosper Portland to say, hey, can we get some advertising focus on us here? So that is a little bit of a goal. We're waiting on one more permit, a water permit. Once we get that, permit should be in issuance, and then construction should happen. We'll still try to use the space when we can for rehearsals or classes, but I don't know. I'm assuming, hopefully, knock on wood, construction will start later this month. Their goal is to obviously open up by summer. We all know how long construction can happen or delays or whatever, but that's what they're trying to do. And then trying to do a partnership of things. So that's something I just kind of wanted to say. Sound good? Yeah. Right? Yeah. But with that, we're going to lose a space. So we need to find more space. We need to figure out a way where we can have additional spaces. So we can have more spaces for rehearsals, have more spaces for classes, have more opportunities to do this. The goal would be eventually, can we make this a Wednesday through Sunday theater for shows or community or performances? Right now, we need it for classroom spaces. And right now, like weekends, we could have up to 12 classes in the morning and afternoon, but I know sometimes people don't want to have classes in the afternoon. So we have to try to find as much as we can. So we're going to need maybe help from some of you of where can we find additional classroom space or spaces that we can use that could help from a nonprofit status. So we're not spending out all the rent money that we're getting on additional spaces. It's fantastic that we're growing. We're kind of overgrowing this space already, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Dog People had 80 people in here. It was fantastic, but it was like, there's 80 people in here and I can't move. And that's a wonderful problem to have. Congrats on selling it out 4 shows. Right? But that is the goal, to try to get all these shows filled. But we need to have, and then with the classes and expanding on that. All right. We'll get to that later. Okay, so very quickly, we have some facility upgrades. As you can see, we're under brand new lights, right? So I set some goals for myself, obviously trying to rent out the auxiliary. The other thing of just how the presentation for all of you. We need lights so we can have good shows. So we got a grant for some of this through, and that helped paid for it through Prosper Portland. We can supplement the lighting. We're going to try to do something soon within the next 3 to 6 months for house lighting, so we can have lights shooting up in the beams, and that'll kind of set the mood of coming in. I want to get a gobo on that garage door that says Kickstand, so as soon as you walk in that door, you see who we are, right?
Instead of fluorescent lights?
Instead of fluorescent lights, you know?
That'd be great.
We got a new computer booth, a computer in the booth, excuse me. So thank you, Michael, for setting that up. That's going to help out with sound. Very quickly, we had a great, I thought, anniversary birthday weekend. So thank you everybody who attended, who came to shows. We need to have more tentpole events like that. So if every year we can celebrate our anniversary, our birthday, hey, we're still here, right? Let's see if we can expand that. And we did a live podcast taping for the first time, so that was great to do. Hopefully we can do more of that. It was great to have Holy Shit come in and perform with everybody and teach workshops. And then with that, we've been adding a lot of workshop series. So thank you if that has been something that you've enjoyed. When we've had guest artists out, we've had these workshops, and then it's like, well, let's get the teachers who are here. What workshop would you like to teach? What else do you want to do? What other toolbox building can we do? And that's what the purpose of the workshops were. I know it's hard for summer. It's so beautiful. Everybody doesn't want to take a class. So I was like, can we do a workshop? Can we do something that helps and supplements what you're already trying to learn? And same thing with Christmas. I know it's hard for travel. Do you want to take a 6 or 8 week class and then you're going to miss half of it? So these are the reasons why the workshops. So we reached out to teachers. Besides having guest artists, what do they want to teach? They're like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And this is great. This is what we want from our faculty. Now I'll say to all of you, what workshop would you like to see? What workshop are you interested in taking as a student? Let myself know, let Kristen know. I think it's super important. Obviously, we can't thank you enough. So at my old job at Comedy Central, it was at a theater, and every day I'd go to my office. I'd have to walk across the stage to go to my office. It was such a great feeling to walk on a stage to go to work, right? I miss that so much. But what I have here is that show wall. So I work here. I set up a folding table, and I have my little laptop, and I work here. And I see that show wall every day. And that makes me really, really happy. Because that's all of you. That's all of your work. That's fantastic, right? I want to keep building that show wall and have all of you represent the theater. So I can't thank all the shows enough. The director runs in the past layoffs, brain rot, and loose threads. Michael's going to thank a lot of them as well. But the monthly shows, Honk, Small Fruits, Estrella Show, Heartthrob, Do-Over, Mosaic, The Big One, Mosh Pit, Take a Side, The Sketch, Dirty Shirley, Forever Pets, Dog People, Character Select, Sick Day. Chris and Lauren brought storytelling in. You're not alone. That's amazing to have that as part of our 4 pillars of who we are. Aardvark, Eiley, and Courtney, thank you so much for producing. The Herald teams, coached by Justin, Diana, and Roland. We had a 3-on-3 that we're going to bring back. Did you enjoy the 3-on-3 March Madness? Do you want to do it again? We'll try it. We had a fall brawl. And obviously all the talent that we were able to bring down. Jeff Hiller, thank you, Michael, for making that happen. Katie Folger, thank you, John Bolden, for bringing that to us. John Monastero, Paul Valancourt, Brian Palmero, Garrett Palm, Hari Kundobulu. We had a Bo Johnson taping and it aired. It's on YouTube. You can see it. Our space, right, being seen. Obviously, the house staff, all the house staff, Lynn, Magenta, James, the bar, Aubin, Paige, Io, and Lauren, and all the volunteers. It really means a lot that you're here every night. I've been on this job for a year and it's been interesting. It's been interesting in the sense of I want to keep these doors open. How do we keep these doors open? It's also been a year of just change, like for me, just observing and learning and seeing how everything works. But I'm also okay if we try things that don't work. So it was important to go to 6 sessions, and Kristen's going to talk more about that, trying to have 6 sessions a year, trying to do new things with classes, trying to do new things with programming. We have to try. And if it doesn't work, then we'll pivot. That's all. But we won't know unless we try it. We've been having a lot of meetings on crowd work with other improv theaters and getting feedback from Rise Theater and it's improv theater in San Diego and Chicago, and just getting data from them, like how are you doing classes? How is it trying to sell and market tickets? How to do this, how to do that. So that's really important. And we need to be open and have an open mindset to try things. And if they don't work, then learn from that mistake or learn from that failure and then move forward and move on. Grants are becoming more and more competitive and less abundant because of government, right? That's hard. We mostly rely on city and state grants, not national. We didn't have any NEA grants being redacted or reducted from us, so we were okay there. So I've been trying to shift more into the private sector and getting private donations. So I was able to get a foundation grant from the Marie Lamford. I was able to get another foundation for $5,000 for our ASL program and our BIPOC program. So I'm trying to look at areas there of getting private donor money. That is something that we need to do to make the theater strive and continue on. The other thing is sponsorships, as much as we can do to try to create more collaborations and sponsors of Working Forward. I'm almost done. Give Guide, we raised almost close to $9,000. So thank you so much for everybody who donated. Thank you so much for everybody that spread the word. All right, let's go to areas to improve. Yes. It's a never-ending list, but the goal is don't wait for it. Can we fix it in the next 6 months? Right? So let's try to fix it in the next 6 months. And I'm here to ask for help or guidance or, yeah, I think this is what you should do. So we definitely need to update our website with correct information, right? Let's have correct information. Marketing and advertising, finding better ways to reach people to know about our shows. The house managers, when anybody comes to the shows, they say, how did you hear about us? Oh, I just Googled comedy and you guys popped up, right? We get a lot of that. So we're trying to track that data of how people are finding us that. We have board members here. Matthew Douglas, our board president's here. Amanda, Iggy, they have been phenomenal. Thank you so much for obviously being on our board. Rochelle, thank you. I didn't see you in the corner, you're hiding. It's a service board, not a fiduciary board. Fiduciary means you got to give money. That's not what we're asking. We're asking for service. We're asking, what can you provide? What can you offer us? What skills? What guidance? What connections? What relationships can you offer us that? We need to continue to build up that board. So we're looking for more advice and help in that area. Rehearsal spaces I mentioned, theater improvements. I've tried, we've had 3 people that were going to rent that kitchen and fell out. It is super hard. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It would probably be better to be a commissary kitchen so somebody's cooking during the day and then it's open at night and they leave food for us. So we're still right? So we're still looking for that. But it's been really hard and we've been like, yes, please sign it, no, and then it pulls, it doesn't work out. Relationships and partners, and then finances and finding revenue streams. That's what we need to improve on. Okay, next slide. So Amanda's here. Amanda, you want to pop in, one of our board members?
Yes.
Get in front. Get in front.
In front of the camera.
Okay, let's give it, everybody give a round of applause to the captain of this ship. This guy does a lot. He does more than I think hours exist in time. So anyway, I'm Amanda. I'm a board member here at Kickstand. I just want to do a little pitch for, if anything has been inspiring to you tonight and you're feeling like you want to help and really get in here and help us accomplish that long list that Paul just put up in the next 6 months to a year. Yeah, I think some people just might not know how a board works. So as you all know, we're a 501c3, so we have a board that helps make decisions and helps Paul with things. We're technically Paul's boss, but we're not. It's not like that. And so, yeah, right now we've kind of dwindled down to our minimum amount of people, which is 3, which is me, Rochelle, and Matthew. Iggy, I'll count you as like a half. We can have, that sounds really rude out of context. We can have up to 16. And oh my God, if we had 16 people helping Paul and Kickstand staff make decisions, there would not be that list that he just put up. It really takes a village, and this is a very small organization. Volunteers do so much, and being a board member is a volunteer, but you kind of just have a little more decision-making power and things like that. So if you're power hungry, this is the perfect position for you. And if you're that plus these skills, then you're perfect for the job.
Get on
You just
in
say
here.
them out loud.
Yes,
'cause
I can.
People I think are mostly
Like Paul said, we need money. I work at a nonprofit for my normal job. We need money all of the time. And a lot of nonprofits have development directors. They're hard to come by, and if you get a good one, they're really expensive. So Kickstand's not going to have a full-time development director anytime soon. So we're going to have to crowdsource that work to help get it done. And right now it's just me and Paul, and I can only give a handful of hours a month to even help him with that, and he's got everything else to do. So if that's in your skill set, please come help us out with that. Any kind of professional work areas, legal, real estate, marketing, accounting, that stuff just comes in handy. We're running a business here at the end of the day. Same with human relations. And then also if you're just into networking and have connections to different groups, like Paul said, sponsorships really helped keep Comedy in the Park going and into the black last year. So any kind of connections. And then obviously all of you love Kickstand. You're here right now. So just anyone that loves Kickstand and wants to let the rest of Portland know about Kickstand and beyond, you're perfect for the board too. So it's not a huge time commitment. It depends on what you're helping with, but it really is 2 to 5 hours a month. We do one meeting a month. That's 2 hours where we all get together in person. And like Paul said, there's no giving requirement. You don't have to give any expected. You can give a donation. Yeah. You're not expected to give a donation to be on the board. So please come talk with either me or Rochelle or Matthew or Paul, of course, after the meeting, or you can email Paul if you have even the slightest interest in joining the board, because we really need more people to help keep this thing going.
And Amanda, can I add, if it's not you, but you know someone
Absolutely.
who you think would be great for the board, we'd be happy to get in touch with them. And thank you, Amanda.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Thank you. And, for example, the reason why we were able to bring Holy Ship up here was we got a grant. We got a grant to pay for them. And it was Amanda, it was Michael, it was myself trying to pitch and get that grant. And that was able to bring them up. And we were able to host them because we had a sponsorship with Northrop Station to host them for free. We didn't have to pay a hotel. So all those things that we're trying to do so we can provide those opportunities here. I think, and next slide, please. So I've always said this, we're doing it. So I'm just offering office hours. So the next 2 Saturdays, because we're having auditions coming up, Michael's going to talk about auditions. I'm teaching a free audition workshop just to practice auditioning. Already the first one sold out. I think there's only 4 spots left for the second one. And if we need to have another audition, then a workshop for free, then I'll offer and I'll teach that as well. But after that, I'm going to go to Tiny's Coffee. So, office hours. Do you have questions on how to pitch a show? Or how to market a show? Or things you want to share about Kickstand? Or things you'd like to see differently? I'm here to listen. I'm here to ask you questions. And I'm here to answer any questions that need to be answered. So I wanted to offer that. I'm sorry I didn't offer it sooner. But it's something that needs to happen. And I want to make myself more accessible to all of you. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay? So thank you. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
All right. Next slide. Hey, it's the training center. All right. Just a couple of things to go over with the training center. I feel like standing too, Paul. It feels good. Yeah.
It feels
here we
good to
go,
stand,
here we go.
doesn't it? Yeah.
We're implementing 6-week classes in order to add a 6th session. We're trying things, right? We need to explore things, and so far the 6 weeks classes have been amazing. And that is in large part due to the next bullet point, which are our teachers here. Our teachers here are everything. They are the best in the Pacific Northwest. They are the best in the country. Let's give a round of applause. I can't tell you the combined improv and teaching experience that our staff brings would just bowl anybody over. And they prove it time and time again every single time they teach. They really care, they work very hard, and they're very good at what they do. I'm very proud of our teachers. That again is why we offered the workshops that Paul is talking about. We have these incredible in-house instructors, and a lot of times people feel like a prophet is without honor in his own town, but not this place. I mean, students have signed up to take classes with our instructors because they know every time they step into a room with those folks, they learn something new, they learn something valuable that they can really apply to their creative endeavors here and beyond. So I really love the workshops, and I really want to thank Paul for sort of nudging the training center in some really important and great directions and working with me to do that. We've added Musical Improv 201, we've added an advanced stand-up, acting, clowning classes. We're going to continue expanding what we offer here. I'd love to see some storytelling classes. We've offered a few in the past. I'd love to build that out, build out more of the acting program that we offer here. And if you have ideas for tracks or classes that you'd like to see here, please chat with me. The BIPOC program continues to be really successful. We've had a lot of students participate and get value from that. We recently, this session, that we just started, added a advanced, full price advanced study BIPOC class. We really are trying to do that. One of the things that made that possible is that, we got students saying, hey, this is something that we really want. And, I don't know if we would be able to do it the way that we offer a lot of our other BIPOC program classes, but because students stepped up and said, hey, this is valuable for us, they were willing, to make that happen. And then we've offered new formats with this advanced study class that I think are really exciting. We've had Advanced Herald, we've had Evente, we've added Pretty Flower, which Naomi's been teaching Pretty Flower. We're going to add even more classes. Some of our directed formats like Complex, and then Thea just started the Brain Rot class this weekend. That was a format that was created here as a directed run show, and now we're teaching, and people are really excited about that format. So it's so cool. We have a partnership with I Love Youth Too, as somebody who was on the cast of the big one as a monologist, runs this incredible arts program for kids, and we work together to offer a youth class in partnership with them at the Lloyd Center, and that's going to be happening in February. If you know a young person who would love to take an improv workshop, that class is on our website right now. Get them to sign up. We still need more people in that class to make it happen. And then We also, as an organization, were invited to participate in the Global Improv Summit that is happening at PSU in July, which is really exciting. Those summits happen annually all around the world, and they talk about what's happening in the on the forefront of improvisation and applied improvisation. And we are going to be talking about the BIPOC program. So really proud to be presenting that at PSU. Yeah. I love being part of the training center. I love the faculty here, and the students are always so inspiring. Everything that the students bring to the classes makes this space what it is, and it's a joy to help run. And I just want to add, like, the class shows have been so incredible. All of the class shows are great, but the most exciting class shows to see are the level 3 class shows. And I watch those shows thinking, like, look out, like, here they come. Like, these students are incredible. So thank you for being part of the training center, and thank you for taking classes here at Kickstand. Yeah.
So once again, Kara unfortunately couldn't be here today, but she obviously wanted to shout out. So I made a partnership or reached out to Portland Cider, and they donated cider, and from that, because they were having a mosaic Marionberry cider, we were able to get free donation. We were able to get $600 plus for the BIPOC program, selling that cider. And then we have a call with them this week to get more cider here for upcoming months. So we're hoping to have a relationship with them. Obviously, shout out to Fix It Friday. There's so many people that come on Fridays. Kara really works in this space, and Dan and AJ and so many people, so thank you for that. The house staff, as we've mentioned before, Lynn, Magenta, and James, thank you so much. It really means a lot. Obviously, all the volunteers. Paige, Aubin, Lauren, Io as our bartending staff. I think it is important that we have a place where audiences feel comfortable and welcomed in our space. And that is what the staff does. And they also look out for you as performers. They're not just here to just turn on the lights. They're really here to make sure that you as a performer are having a good experience, that you feel welcome, that you are taken care of. So then you can just do what you do, is perform wonderfully on stage, right? And the staff does that. So thank you to them. And I think that's it. We got to figure out what we're going to do with this kegerator. So other than that, everything's good. All right. Next slide.
Hello. So just some programming updates. I just looked up, curious to see how many tickets we sold since May, since now that we've had a ticketing platform since then, it provides us a lot of data. So we've sold around 15,000 tickets since May. So, some of those are just recorded entries of students and things, but that's generally where we're at. A lot of people ask about more opportunities for stage time. So we are trying to get more jams up in 2026. That means offering more bring your own team jams that have been really popular. And more LGBTQ jams hosted by the Small Fruits crew, having that being a monthly offering rather than kind of whenever we could squeeze it in on like a fifth Sunday. So that's going to be more regular. And yeah, we're just always open to pitches. I know that process can seem a little unclear or a little mysterious, but it really is just like, if you have an idea, talk to us. We're still trying to figure out where to put those shows that are still developing, still figuring themselves out. Because, as Paul mentioned, money and keeping this place open, ticket sales aren't our biggest chunk of the pie there, but it is important, and we have to think about what shows people will come see, what time to put them at. There's a lot of factors, and we're still trying to figure out what that secret formula is that makes a show sell out. And it's so we're working with a lot of different co-productions, which is where we call it a co-production because we have someone producing the show, and then Kickstand provides their side of things, which is providing the space, providing some marketing support, we are building our contacts with local media. We have our weekly segment on the news. We have contacts at Portland Mercury and Willamette Week to try and just get our press releases out, get some more information out there. And they've been showing up and writing up some of our shows. So that's been really exciting. So yeah, we're just trying to be really intentional with our bookings. So we're thinking really hard. I know it sometimes looks a little random, but one thing I do a lot of is look at other theaters around the country and how they're programming. And for our staff and size of community and just like general interest in comedy in this town, we are doing a ton. I was looking at, just as an example, Rise Comedy in Denver. They're a great theater. They're in a downtown area. They serve a kind of very different, a little more touristy. They do the same musical improv show every Friday, like forever. We change it up. We provide a lot of teams opportunities, and I know it can sometimes feel like there's not a ton, but if you start looking around, like, we do a pretty good job, I think. And we're also start offering some more opportunities like community nights run by Justin Himes. We're still working on how to get information out to everyone about those, but a lot of the students have been communicated with about that, and it's just, again, those are just, if you haven't been to one, those are on weeknights when we don't have shows after classes, and there's no bar, it's pretty low tech, it's just people getting up on stage and performing in front of each other, so akin to jams, but a little different. And yeah, we just want to figure out more slots for development at risk. I'd really love for Sundays to be jams and then some kind of show that's community forward, whether that's putting up a pilot of a show or whether it's taking some of these community night concepts and putting them on a Sunday. A big challenge is staffing. Like, if we're going to have shows on Sunday night, that means probably a house manager, bar, volunteers, and all that. So we're still figuring out what that looks like. Also just kind of figuring out what we can do as like fun late night bit shows for the community. Will people come out at 10 p.m. for something weird? We're still figuring that out. Honk has been getting people out for something weird, that's for sure. But you know, there's a lot we can do that is lower touch, and you know, if you have a show idea that's a little bonkers, talk to us. Let's go to the next slide. Auditions! Woo! These are live on the website. You can sign up. You heard it here first, folks. So we're going to have it split into individual and team auditions again. Not a ton has changed this round, but I'll go over kind of what's different. So for individual auditions, that's where you come and audition in a group of whoever signs up for that time slot, and that is to cast our Herald skill teams, which are our teams that do Heralds. That's a development opportunity. That's for people who have maybe not been on a team before, have been through classes and are kind of wondering what's next. So ideally you have an understanding of the Herald, but we have cast from some folks who have only completed level 3 and kind of had a mix of experience levels on those. Aardvark is our Thursday night show every other week, where that is a mix of improvisers. That's for folks who've been doing improv for a bit, and again, that's just another community opportunity. It's a really fun show. And then we have our featured show runs, which are different shows where we have a director, they get a run of shows. So those auditions are going to be February 7th and 8th. The deadline is Thursday, February 5th at 10 p.m. I put the deadline as late as possible so that I don't get a million emails from people being like, whoa, I didn't sign up. So please sign up sooner than later. We have limited slots. We may open up more, but it really is going to be a first come, first serve, so please do not wait. Same for team auditions. We have our Velodrome anchors who have a monthly slot on Velodrome on Thursdays. Big Dogs, which we are going to be rebranding a bit. I'll talk about that in a minute. And these auditions are shows where your team performs to an audience. Those are going to be Thursday through Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, the 29th through the 1st. And the deadline for that is Wednesday, January 28th, but the sooner the better on that. Let's go to the next slide. So some changes for the individual auditions. We're going to try and keep it at 8 for the groups that come in. I know that 10 when we do the montage can feel a little overwhelming. So we're really going to try to keep it to 8. Again, if we're going to just kind of have to go based on interest. If we have more demand on auditions, we might have to go up to 9 or 10 for some groups. So something we're going to try, we don't have this fully fleshed out yet, but producers will have access to the audition pool for casting in their co-productions. So we will be casting our opportunities, and then when we have producers who need to find new talent beyond kind of who they already know, we want to provide them a list of contacts of like, hey, these are some more improvisers you may not know about in our community. So shows like 7 Minutes in Heaven, which is a bunch of different improvisers. That's something we're going to be working with them on. Big Dogs, this is still kind of in progress too, but we're hoping to change it to Kickstand Presents and feature the teams a little more prominently. So teams who have a little more of like a deal, like we want to advertise what that team's show is, what the vibe is, so that when we're marketing these shows and when audiences are looking at the listings, they're like, oh, I know that if I see Hopes and Prayers, I'm going to see something absolutely bonkers bananas and really fun. How would you describe it, Diana?
Bonkers, bananas, and really
Unhinged, yeah.
Unhinged.
Unhinged.
Yeah.
Faculty will act as panelists again, and this time we're just going to have them be exempt from auditioning. We hire our faculty because they're great performers, great teachers, and we had them audition as part of just like transparency, but we also have a lot of people to watch audition, and it gets a little murky when the panelists are also auditioning, so we're just going to do a clean break and cast faculty as needed, and just want to be transparent about that. Directed runs this time may have callbacks as needed. There's been a lot of feedback about like, well, how are these directors really, if they aren't at all the auditions, how are they going to know who to cast? So this gives them an opportunity to see some more people in a little more of a specific setting to determine who to cast. So teams now sign up for their audition time slots. It's just a lot to try to coordinate with everyone. So again, that's first come, first serve. Ideally, your whole team is able to make it, and we'll just. So if your team is interested, please be sure to sign up sooner than later. Coordinate schedules with your team. And we want to increase featured show runs to 6 instead of 4 as the initial run. We find that 4 is like just shy of like hitting a good stride, and like, it takes a while for media and press to like pay attention to it. It also takes time to build a reputation. And with all our directed show runs, we want to extend them sometimes as well. So 6 is just a starting point. So next on that. So for example, we had, this is also very serious, Stupid, directed by Kristen Shear. And then currently you have one last chance next week to see One Free Refill, the improvised movie directed by Paul Stein. For this next round of auditions, real quick. And then this next round of auditions, Dana Murphy will be directing the documentary, the improvised documentary. And we are determining our second show still, and that will be announced very soon in the next week or two, we're hoping. So these are just some of the shows we've had. Paul mentioned a lot of these. X-Prov and the Improvised X-Files. We had Angel Sex host a duo show. They're going to be doing that again soon. Small Fruits is now in a more regular slot monthly. Astrala show's been banging it out. We got Dinner Party. we got all these things. So if you haven't seen some of these, check them out. Let's go next. And Paul mentioned these as well. We had some clown performers. We had Tony Naj, Marley, just some wild acts. If you know anyone, John Bolin just sent us Katie Folger, someone he knows from back in Austin, and connected us, and it was a sold-out show. It was great. So if you have anyone you know in other cities who is interested in coming to Kickstand, please refer them to us. Next slide. Some shout outs on the programming side. Jameson Woolsburn has been helping with tech. Ben Spoon helping us with the website. We now have Google Ads. Woo! Through Google for Nonprofits. That's first time ever. Afrida's going to be helping with our auditions. Kylie, who was mentioned for Aardvark. Justin for our community nights. And Diana for helping with the graphic design for our house programming. And our Herald coaches, Justin, Diana, and Roland. Do I have another slide? Yes. Oh, did my demographics get bumped down? Sorry, one second.
All right.
It's not a big deal. It's not.
Should probably open it up to folks.
Yeah,
we have
some questions.
We have questions, but also
Yeah.
maybe open up to all of you. There's a lot of information. We threw a lot at you. I hope the information was helpful. Yes, Eric.
Do you already know the class schedule if we were going to have 6 sessions?
We're going to try for session 2 6 weeks again. We're going to try to get some.
Push, like months, like the dates
Yeah.
already figured out?
Yeah. So we're going to get some more data points. Is it working? How do we like it? When we've had these conversations with other theaters, they go. Habits have changed. People, from their, education centers, they like and prefer the 6 weeks. If we need to open it up and go to 7, then we'll pivot and make that happen. What I noticed that for teaching it, because when I started here as a teacher and I taught in the fall, it was really hard to teach starting a class in November and then I finished in February. I lost all that momentum. So with 8 weeks times 5, it was 40 weeks. There was 3 months out of the year that we didn't have classes here. So for me, one, as a teacher, I just wanted to kind of, have more of a truncated time to talk to people and work with people. But then also for the holidays, it was hard to lose that momentum. So that was really the first way. Then the second way was, what else can we do of just adding more opportunities for people to study and have classes?
Yeah.
And that's why we're trying, the 6 weeks and trying the 2.5 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to the 6 weeks. And, we've also heard from students where, there might be things, they say they want more time with their classmates, right, over
Yeah.
that 6 weeks. But we can supplement that here by doing some more community events and supporting learning more with jams and getting to meet not just your classmates, but the larger community here at Kickstand. And, it's sort of split like, 2.5 hours is too long, people would say on the weeknights, but on the weekends they were like, we love it. So there's different feedback coming in and we need more data points to really make the decision of what's right for our community. But it's really worth trying because there's a lot of benefits to it. And so far, it is feeling pretty good.
Yeah. And then, we had forms that Kristen, after every class, at the end of the 6 weeks, went to all the students and had them fill out forms. So we're gathering that data and we'll do it again. And we want to hear from all of you and the teachers. Some teachers say, yeah, it helps me just know I have a 6-week time frame to teach. But we're open. If we have to go to 7, we'll go to 7. But right now, we're going to try 6.
Yeah.
Do we want to do the submitted questions?
Yeah, let's do the
Yeah.
submitted questions.
We have some. Dang it, Dakota! please help.
Questions!
Submitted questions. So these are questions submitted on the form ahead of time.
But then
mostly-
we obviously want to hear from all of you here too as well.
Yeah, we're just gonna knock some of these out. If we can go to the next slide. So what kind of trajectory does Kickstand hope or expect teams to have in terms of performance opportunities for teams that have already gone through these stages? Is the encouragement to seek out opportunities elsewhere so that the new team's voices have room to play? That's a great question. We kind of have a mix of teams who have gone on to produce their own shows and teams who have just kind of been going through the rotation of Velodrome and Big Dogs. I don't really have an answer. Like I said, we're providing as many opportunities as we can. I'm hoping with the team jams, we'll have more development opportunities. And like I said, we're always open to pitches. We do only have so many slots per month. So sometimes we can't get that scheduled very soon. Sometimes it's just not going to be the right fit, and that's just something we don't have exact parameters. It's just something we have to feel out case by case.
I guess if I could just add,
Yeah.
you know, I think we have to continue to host these teams in some way, shape, or form, right? You might have already done a velodrome or gone to Big Dogs, and now it's like, okay, now what? What do I do? So we need to figure out, can we pair up teams? Can we have a different type of show? Can you come to us and say, we're going to try a new format with our team? That's something that we have to communicate with one another to see what else that can we do. You know, it's...
Yeah, I would also encourage, if you formed a team here and you've learned and you performed on this stage, we love that Kickstand is like your comedy home. We want you to be doing and creating things here, but there's also this larger Portland area. Go out, create a show. A rising tide lifts all ships. The more comedy that's happening in the city, the better it is for venues like Kickstand. So like there are opportunities for you to put on shows, you know, around Portland, and be proud that you're a team that started here at Kickstand. And if people watch your show and say, "Wow, where'd you learn to do that?" You know, or you know, let them know that this is your comedy home. You know.
Yeah. I know 2110 has been looking for some late night programming, so I don't have a contact, but if you're interested in that, reach out to me. I can connect you with them. I can figure that out. Yeah, we also saw in the summer a lot of people doing backyard shows. That's great in the summer. So in the winter, you just gotta kind of figure out what that winter space is.
Yeah.
Is it your living room? Is it someone's weird basement?
You know,
is it
yeah,
a coffee shop?
I guess
know.
it's just hard with slot times, right? We know that it's 7 and 8:30, so you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's six slots. That's what we're looking at. So how do we increase those slots? Do we have an earlier show? Do we have like a spank show, something that's at 6 or something? We have to figure out what other opportunities there can be if there is this require and this need to do that. Like I said, we are limited with space here. We have 3 spaces. If we can find classroom space and open up to development on Wednesday nights and then move our classes somewhere else off-site that we're not paying for it, then we can have a true community night on Wednesdays for development. Then we can move forward with Thursdays, and Friday and Saturdays can be more polished shows and presented shows. So that is the ultimate goal. It's great that we're growing. That's the ultimate goal, is to do that. We're kind of outgrown a little bit of the spaces already, whether that was foreseen or not foreseen before they came here. So that's what we have to take a look at.
And the second part of this question is just, how do you connect with other improvisers in the community if you aren't going to the bar after shows? Well, we got jams. We have had a few community parties here. Beyond that, it's, you know, go to shows, see who the familiar faces are around. I mean, something we've been putting off is getting some kind of Discord or Slack going. We're gonna revamp that and see if we can get that going. Yeah, Dan?
Volunteer.
Yeah, volunteer. That's a great way to meet
Come
people.
hang out with me more.
Yeah. We started duo with Dan. But yeah, I mean, we're open to if anyone has any other ideas on how to connect or stories of how they connected with their team, shout them out. Or
I host a comedy Discord server that currently has mostly Kickstanders on it. It's completely unaffiliated, but I would be happy to let any Kickstanders
join Magenta's Discord.
But that is something that I didn't read off of needs to improvement, is how we communicate to the community.
Yeah.
We have to do a better job with that. There has been talk, we're going to do WhatsApp, we're going to do Discord, who's going to oversee it, who's going to run it, who's going to monitor it. But we need to find a platform that everyone can connect to receive information. The weekly newsletters was thought about, this is what we need to do, so information's going out, how we put information up on our socials. But yes, we need to figure out a better way to communicate so everyone is in the know.
I will say, I did level 1 of the BIPOC class with Frida, and she did an amazing job of day 1 going, the best way to do this class and to do improv is to get to know each other and to become a crew and a family. So I'm not saying you have to, but get phone numbers, start a group chat or
Yeah.
something, hang out after class, like get in each other's business, be friends, like, and we did. I was like, hey guys, let's go to a show, let's get each other's phone numbers, and from there, like we linked arms, and now, like I'm here with my people, you know?
Yeah, connecting with your classmates. Look to your left, look to your right.
Yeah.
These are the people.
One of you will not know.
No. Oh, right. No. I was going the other way with it.
Just from somebody who's already in the community, encouraging people who are just showing up. Like, so if you guys notice a fresh face or a couple of fresh faces, like, be that person to reach out to them. It's not your job necessarily, but like, that's a thing that you can do is go, hey, I haven't seen you before, how's it going? You know, you can pull somebody in just by being a friendly face.
Yeah.
Or going like, hey, here's a show, we've got a show coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always say having a conversation with a stranger is a great improv exercise. Let's go to the next question.
Lots of questions.
As Kickstand considers establishing house teams with a mix of both experienced performers and up-and-coming talent, rosters could evolve more slowly over time, maybe with 12 to 18 month cycles that have new members add every 6 months, or pulling from Herald teams that just finished up, with the newer performers benefiting from the experience of the rest of the team. So, yeah, that's a model that we haven't really considered. A lot of the reasons why our runs are 6 months, or Herald is now a 4-month run, is because people flake and don't commit. And we keep it short. I would love a longer commitment, but I've just found evidence that it doesn't work as well in Portland. And maybe
But
it's
I don't want to always use that as an excuse.
well, yeah,
Right? I don't want to say, hey, it's Portland. Right? I'm kind of sick of that. Right? We're all here. You're here. You're at the shows. You're doing the shows. I agree with you, Michael. I agree. It's a commitment that we all have to make, and some of it is like trying to find rehearsal space, trying to find that. It's on you to find the rehearsal space. Well, it should be on us to try to help you. But there's a lot that we're already doing. But yeah, let's be better, or let's want to be better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If we can try to figure out 12 months, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Just as a director, I mean, I love working with One Free Refill. If I could work with them for a year, I would be stoked. I'd be stoked. I don't know how we could do it, John. Right? We gotta figure it out. But yeah, no, I know. I know what you mean. It's hard. It's hard because people do change or get something different or want to do something different. I understand that, right? And I understand life gets in the way and job gets in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a model worth considering, and there's a lot of pros and cons to it. Thank you for the feedback. Does Kickstand perform surveys or focus groups of audiences to identify what kind of content the community is interested in, or what leads them either to attend or not attend a show? If so, could this information be shared? So besides collecting data on our ticketing platform of where people are hearing about things, we haven't sent a questionnaire or anything like this. This is a great idea. A lot of what we look at is just ticket numbers and sales, and that kind of guides us a little bit on what's working and what's not working.
Part of the grant with Portland Film Events for Comedy in the Park was that we needed to do a survey. And we started doing that, and we actually got Dan to walk around and do paper surveys. And the information was kind of helpful, because it really was kind of like, where did you come to this show? Or why, or how did you travel here? Because that's the issue, because Laurelhurst Park is like, you have too many people now. You have too many cars. So can we get people to take TriMet? Can we take other ways to get there? I know Lynn, every Saturday night, says, how did you hear about us? Every audience member, she asks, how did you hear about us? Why are you here? Oh, I'm friends with the cast. Oh, I Googled comedy. So, yeah, we got to do better at just gathering those data points as much as possible to help.
This next question is pretty similar to the one before. Can Kickstand provide resources for current and former students on how to network, form teams, ways to get more reps, or anything else that may help people continue to develop after finishing the first 4 levels? Yeah, I think we answered that for the most part. It's, there's the workshops now available, there's the jams, there's producing your own show. I don't know what Kickstand, if you have ideas on what we could provide specifically, you know, like Paul says, we're doing a lot. We don't really have time to like hit the pavement and know like what venues around town are looking to host shows. That's kind of on you, but if you can always talk to us. I mean, I've produced a lot of shows. I'm happy to talk to people and share resources. There's a lot of people in the community who have gone through that already that you can talk to. I think that's, you know, just talk to people and share ideas.
And that's what office hours can also be right? I'm not saying I have the answers. I've only been here for 4 years, so I'll probably ask you more questions about the Portland comedy scene, or what do you like about it, or what interests you. So as long as we start a dialogue, that's one way to go about it.
Yeah, that information is constantly, that landscape is changing, you know, so it's not particularly stable information all the time. So if we put one sheet out, it's going to be outdated in like 2 months, you know, or 3 months. But we have a lot of people here in this community that know how to help you if you have questions. Yeah.
This next question: will auditions be more thought out this time around? Feels like good audition or bad audition, they don't really matter.
Afrida is running auditions this time, so yes. So yeah. Michael, you've done a great job, but yeah.
I do think about them before we do it. No, I think what this question's getting at is maybe a frustration or feeling like there's a bias, and you know that's something we're always aware of and trying to combat. A slide that didn't load was I had some demographic reports from the last set of auditions, which I can read through if people are interested. But here, I'm just gonna pull it. I can share it's on the slideshow. But all right, this is hard to just say actually. But just looking at it looks great. Anyway, we really do try to follow our mission of prioritizing, you know, the voices that are traditionally been unheard in our community. So you look at our team lineups, we have a lot of teams that are all women. And that, if you've been doing improv for more than 5 years, that's a noticeable shift in culture. And, you know, our audition system, because we can't have the same panel for all of our individual auditions, is we have a scoring system and a feedback system where panelists are scoring all the people they see 1 through 5, and then making recommendations and leaving specific feedback so that we can share that with the auditioners afterwards. Something I have never heard of any other theater doing, providing direct feedback for auditions of 150 plus people. So just saying.
I also want to add, Michael, that with that many people auditioning, it is absolutely possible to have a great audition and not get cast.
Yeah.
You know, what we really need to pursue here is excellence in our craft and not necessarily benchmarks of success, right? We're after a deeper understanding of improv and the art of comedy here, and we don't let other people tell us whether or not we're successful in that. We have to kind of have our own measure of people that we trust. We're not interested in being gatekeepers here at Kickstand, right? We are interested in helping people find their comedy voice and providing the space that we can to do the thing that we love with each other, right? So do know that if you audition and it felt like a great audition, it probably was, and great job. And we're sorry that we couldn't offer you a spot this time around, because that's what we want to do. We are on your side when we watch these auditions. Afrida stood up. I wonder if you want to add anything, Afrida, or yeah.
I am real new to this. As far as like supporting up here, I'm not new to the spotlight though. So I am excited. I'm excited to work with Zimmer here on creating just a container for the audition process for the judges, because it's long days and it's a lot of deliberation to sit and see 150 people perform and put themselves out there and be vulnerable in that way. But also as people who are coming to auditions, being able to come into a system that really makes a lot of sense, that you feel like it's really set up for yourself and you're able to give your best performance in the container that is set. So that's my aim, to help with Dimmer in doing the auditions this year. And the piece on feedback, giving feedback to 150 people, I don't know what it's like. I'm in another world around like being in front of crowds and such. So this performance world is new to me. So I really lean into Zimmer and those folks who've been doing this for many, many years to help support me in my understanding around it. And also, giving feedback is a really tough thing to do. And so one of the things that I've been noticing as a person coming through Kickstand for the past 4 to 5 years is, as participants, we also need to be asking for feedback and not simply waiting for feedback. If you're trying a new thing on, if you're flexing something that you're not quite sure about, reach out to the people that you see, that your teammates and also people you're taking classes from, like say, hey, did you watch my show last time? Or what did you think about this thing that I tried on? It is a great way to begin to get some understanding if what you're putting out is what's being received by the audience that's seeing you. So I hope to, later on, I've been talking with Kristen about offering a feedback class, really first working with instructors, but hopefully maybe opening it up to the community in general. But I would encourage you, as you're approaching audition season, start asking the people around you, like, hey, what do you think, or what are you seeing? Not just did you like it, but like, what did you see? And then you get to judge whether or not that's what you meant for them to see. So I hope all that makes sense. I'm excited about auditions.
Yep.
Great advice. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, can you clarify where the responsibility of artistic direction currently falls in Kickstand leadership, and your plans for who will make these decisions and how they will be made in the near and long-term future with artistic direction, especially given how the responsibility of decision maker relates to Kickstand's commitment to diversity and inclusion?
Good question. Well, right now the theater does not have an artistic director. I was hired by the board to be the executive director, to oversee the areas of finance, education, and programming, and looking at those areas. And a lot of it was to settle the fiscal stability of the organization, what we have to pay out, what debt the organization still has, how to move forward, and that's my goal. I do think eventually this theater does need an artistic director. It needs that. You see me here Saturday nights, Friday nights. I come to shows, right? I'm here to support, but I'm also here if you want to say, what do you think of the show? I'll give you feedback. I'll answer any questions you might have. I might not have the perfect answer for you, what you're looking for, but I'm willing to have a dialogue of artistically, what are you trying to do? Because you represent us, and we're happy to have you here. That's what we're trying to do. We discuss it regarding leadership and questions of Michael and I. We meet every Tuesday and we talk. We're trying to move forward of what we can do. I have certain things that I'd like to see in the theater, and eventually we'll get there. The goal, it would be to have an artistic director. The goal also is we're trying to look at the labor model. Right now there's 3-4 people working. We need to expand to make it to 7. Right? Figuring that out, where we can find the income to do that. So it's not all these duties are falling on 3 to 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of what the artistic direction has been is kind of what's been brought by our community to what they want to do. So, yeah, usually the role of an artistic director is to be a little more selective and to curate, and we've been throwing a lot up against the wall and seeing what sticks.
And that's good. And that's, you know, everything has to go in ebbs and flows, right? We're finding our voice, we're finding our legs, we're finding our point of view. I think that's what it needs to be. I have experience being an artistic director. I've been an artistic director of many institutions. But right now I'm leading it as on an executive level and being responsible to the board. But I have that experience, and preferably that's something that I enjoy doing, right? Worrying about fixing the heater last week. Not fun, right? But it needed to be done, right? It needed to be done.
What are the most impactful things we can do to support Kickstand now? I think we answered some of that with the board. That's a great thing you can do. Volunteering. If you have a project that you're like, I see this problem, I know how to fix it without too much guidance or time from the people who have a lot of other things to do, pitch us on it and let us know. We'd love to, it gets hard to like manage volunteer projects because that takes a lot of time and energy away from just day-to-day operations. But if there's something you're like, I can do this start to finish, or I can grab people and make this happen. Like if you want to see more social opportunities, like host a meetup at a bar or somewhere, maybe another third space that you can gather people, and we'll help amplify it. We'll do what we can to help with that. But those are things you can do. Any other thoughts on that?
Tell people about Kickstand, bring them to shows, tell them about classes. If you've been impacted by a class that you have taken, and you know how valuable the skills that you learn in an improv class are, please talk to people in your life about it, because I would love to share improv with everybody, and also it really helps. The training center is a big piece of our pie, and we think it's valuable. We want to share it with as many people as possible. So tell your friends about classes and shows.
Ooh, get on your phone now and leave a Google review.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Get it out now. It better be 5 stars. No, but that's something it's like such an easy thing to do, and
Actually, stagger your reviews so it's not a flood all at once.
There you go.
Okay, so everyone needs to coordinate. Wait an arbitrary amount of time and then post.
I think just for me, what's beneficial to me is being introduced to new people. So Michael Canassis introduced me to the person that had come to Comedy in the Park and was willing to donate. He just literally did an email introduction, and I picked it up from there. And then we literally met here for 45 minutes, and we talked. And he was new to Portland, and he goes, "Can I write you a check for $2,500?" I'm like, "Yes." That was 45 minutes.
Paul said, no.
No. But that was 45 minutes of somebody that I also was just interested in and getting to know. And he's trying to take comedy classes, and he's new to the area. He's new to Portland, so he wanted to know a little bit more. And it was a 2-minute email exchange that Michael introduced me to him. So I'm also just trying to get to know Portland itself as well. So if there's businesses, if there's organizations, if there's people, I'm looking for that. So make the introductions.
And last question real quick. There have been a number of great workshops, but they seem to sell out so quick. And when speaking to those in the workshop, there are a number of people who had never actually done improv with Kickstand or any other theater. Are there any plans to first offer these to Kickstand faculty and students before the general public?
Great question. As much as possible, I like to give our community the inside scoop on what is going on. You can often find that in the email recap that your teachers send you, a list of new workshops and things. If you are watching the website, you will see things go up. And they're, with prerequisites, people aren't always the best at reading the fine detail of like what is offered and what you need to have. I've tried to supplement with now a button when you register saying, I do meet the prerequisite for this class. But honestly, I'm really great. It's really great to me that new people are finding Kickstand, right? So, and it's really great that new people without improv experience so far are finding Kickstand. They may have found us in a workshop that's not 100% appropriate all the time for a brand new beginner, and we're going to try and adjust as needed with that. But like, Yeah, this is a tough problem. We are reoffering some amazing workshops from our instructors that sold out, and they're nearly sold out again. So like Randy's inner game of improv has sold out like now twice, and we're gonna try and remount some other workshops and get some more instructors that haven't led workshops so far up there. So watch the website. These are selling like hotcakes here.
And something we're going to work on is having a separate newsletter just for class and workshop information. That's something we need to establish. So
I also think I've been talking to Kristen that we just need to have an announcement day. These are
Yeah.
the first day that classes are going out.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe even give incentives. If you sign up on this opening day, you get this amount off or a T-shirt or something like that. So our community knows when the classes are. Right.
Yeah.
all right, we can now open it up to questions
Yeah.
in the room if anyone has any.
You shout out and
Yeah.
mic, whatever easy. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 3 questions. I'll try not to take up too much time. You were talking previously about potential like revenue streams. I've been going to movies a lot lately, and I always get popcorn whenever I go. I used to work at a movie theater. I know that popcorn is like a big revenue driver. Has there been a thought of like getting a popcorn machine here?
Did you come to last? We
Look
actually,
in the kitchen right
look in the
now.
kitchen right now. There's a popcorn
There's a
machine.
popcorn machine. Yeah.
Question was,
Thank
have
you,
we,
Iggy. No, I mean, good question, right? You know, the goal was obviously to have this kitchen working, and that would be another way of trying to find food, drinks, things that we could sell. You know, this is limited. We have 70 seats, 75, maybe 80 for stand-up. So we're limited on what the bar can do of turnover. We're not high dive, right? This is a theater bar that has to do volume very quickly in a short amount of time. What can we do? For the theater, and any comedy theater, it's always going to be the education center is going to be number 1, right? Then it's going to be grants, donors, fundraising, number 2. Ticket sales, 3. Hospitality, 4. If we can make ticket sales higher, we can make hospitality higher, I'd love to do that. That's a great goal to have. So to answer your question, yeah, we could sell popcorn. We do sell popcorn from Rad Pop. We have other things, but we got to figure out other ways to increase that. That'd be great.
all right, 1 of 3.
1 of 3.
Okay. Second question. You were mentioning like other tentpole ideas for Kickstand. It made me think that like if you're in TV or music or movies or something, that award season has always been a big thing. Has there been a thought of like Kickstand awards to be presented to like best team, best new team, best recurring show, anything like that?
An awards show.
No, I mean, I think the fact of like last year when we tried the 3-on-3, it was doing something where people can make their own 3-on-3 teams. We were trying to get more people to play with one another and just to be fun. And also just tying in the March Madness theme. And that did really well. I mean, we had over 250 tickets sold for that event. With the Fall Brawl, we were trying to do something else. Get your teams up and just for fun, friendly competition was something we were trying to do. For me, it's like if we have Comedy in the Park, that's one tent pole. If we have our birthday in December, that's another tent pole. I don't think the theater's ready for some type of improv festival, but that's what we probably should go for and look at probably in May. So we'd have 1, 2, 3 for the year of something to take a look at.
Oh, and that's another opportunity if you want to perform is apply to festivals. So
Yeah.
just throwing that out there.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about, Alexander. And we tried a model of an award show in Philly, and I think Austin had one. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah. Other questions?
People get
And
petty.
then
Or
my
sorry.
final question. I've been a part of classes that have taken place at Away Days over here, and I'm really happy that you've been able to get that rented out to X-Ray. But I'm just curious, are we going to be able to use that as like a room for potential classes in the future? I'm also thinking back to, I was lucky enough to perform with like 100 other people for the recent Secret Art Walk. and we all met up in that room. If
Yeah.
we're going to be doing something again in the future where there's like 100 performers, is there any other area that we could like store them in?
We're adding a second story. No. Yeah, I mean that's a great question. Right now, there's a walk-in cooler that you see, a fridge. We're hoping to sell that within the next week or two, right? So
Seismic upgrade.
they're going to have 2 recording studios and office. So that front area where you were having the classes, that's going to be an open area. They're also going to keep the bar area in there. So part of the discussions with X-Ray is, can we also collaborate with one another? They want to do sometimes events in here that we also want to open up. They also want to have music events. They also want to talk to the city and then close off 10th and have something in the summer and have music outside. So space is hard in here. I don't know if they chose this space, if they foresaw how much growth there would be. We had to figure that out. So yes, that's a great question, and that's a concern, right? So that's why we need to find more opportunities of other spaces that could help us with nonprofit status, could give us it free at a low cost. So we're not spending thousands of dollars on rehearsal space or rental space.
Yeah, and adding a second floor would trigger a seismic upgrade.
Yes, that we
can't
can't do.
it.
We can't do.
And we only do one show here with 100 improvisers, so it's not going to come up too well. All right, another question.
Matthew?
I just had a note to share on X-Ray, which is, in general, one of the things that was really attractive about them is that they are active during the day, and we're not. And we are active in the night, and they are not. So, in terms of being able to potentially share some space and have some crossover, it's a really nice partnership.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, John.
I just had a thought, if with X-Ray, has there been any talk of like having a podcasting class?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Totally.
Yep. Podcasting. Everyone's going to get a podcast.
And you get a podcast.
You get a podcast.
Nick had a question over here.
Yeah.
Someone else.
This more potential partnership space solution is similar to an organization that does stuff during the day and not in the evening. My day gig is I work for Fame Academy. We're, if you're not familiar, it's a nonprofit organization that's theater and art school for neurodivergent adults. And we mostly are close by 6. And we just got our own building. Which also, we just cleaned up a huge flood. But it's not flooded, it's a really nice space.
Yeah.
And there are
Where is it?
It's on Lat, it's like half a mile from here.
Better.
Run, Christine.
Run!
If you know where the new season is on Division in Lat, right there, it's right in that corner.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
This is
Let's get it,
community resource sharing.
Let's do it, baby.
Yeah. That's great. Nick, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
Nick, yeah.
you. Yeah.
Off of that, so many buildings, not so many, fewer and fewer, but empty storefronts. And I don't know if you've already looked into that. I started looking into that for a friend who's in a dance.
Mhm.
So looking up spaces, how to make use. There have been cities that offer up a maybe deal with their empty storefronts and retail spaces just to bring life into them. And
Yeah.
did some digging on it. Downtown Portland for the holidays, they do it with capitalism shopping. But maybe there's more opportunity in there. I walked by these 2 buildings, they're not in this neighborhood. They are on the other side of the river. But they're huge and they've been empty for like 4 years, and just like wood floors and high ceiling. I'm just like, something could be happening in these empty spaces, and what is the city? So I didn't find an answer, but there's more in there to dig at. If you haven't already been digging at that.
I have to reach out to our a council person in this district and see if they can help with that. But that's a great advice. Thank you.
Yes.
See if there's any online.
Any online questions? Yes.
Oh, hey, this is more just like a plug and just sharing. I know that there were folks that were talking about how there are more opportunities from the transition from class to stage. And so I know Kickstand right now is teaching 2 sketch classes. And so one of the shows that I'm co-producing with, or me and my co-producer Carrie are co-producing with Kickstand is 48-hour sketch tournament. So it's kind of needing that middle ground between, hey, I'm taking a sketch class, and hey, oh wow, producing a 1-hour sketch show. And so if you'd like to learn more about that, it's a really approachable process. It's not a ton of commitment. It's a weekend, but it's a way for you to give your work legs, get stage time. We're trying to get somebody to film the show. We had somebody film our first inaugural show at Funhouse. And if you're somebody who wants to be on the trajectory of maybe submitting to a sketch festival, having a submission and having your performance on tape is a really critical step in that. And so we're really trying to help foster that and push the performance of sketch forward within Portland. So just wanted to
No,
share
that's
that.
great, Renee. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you couldn't hear that on the live stream, there's a PDX 48-hour sketch festival happening in February. If you look at the ticketing page on the website, it does have the link to submit. So check that out, or go to, what is it, PDX48 Sketch, PDX48sketch.com. Yeah.
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 I was just wondering, because we accidentally overtook an advanced level 4 class of BIPOC people. Sorry, Diana, we did that to you. But it went really well, and we wrote obviously that we had interest in after level 3 for BIPOC stuff. What's next? There's some BIPOC people that were at the jam earlier that we're interested, obviously, in more workshops for sure. That would be shortened version, but also after level 3, I think at least my group, shout out to Brown Sugar, wanted to pay for things full price, and we were okay with paying for things full price, just so that we could still stay within the BIPOC community and keep growing it. So I don't know how everyone else feels about that, but that was just something that I definitely wanted to put out there that we've been really pushing for and really want, because we want to keep doing stuff. But I think the BIPOC community really likes to be within each other still. So yeah.
I really appreciate that, and thank you for just communicating, because a lot of what the students ask for, we really try to make happen. So and one of the obstacles to the BIPOC level 4 is a financial obstacle for us, because we're just under resourced. But we have been growing a staff. And I think we're ready to get there, and if the community can pay full price, there's no reason why we shouldn't have the class. I'm just very cognizant of the promises that we have made. We just need to communicate out any changes. So that's thank you.
And I might be remembering this wrong, you can clarify, but we did have an audit and worked with a DEI organization, and I believe one of the recommendations did have an influence on how we built our BIPOC program, so as to not have just these 2 parallel tracks that never meet. And we obviously want our community everyone to be performing together too, so there's that consideration as well. So but we hear that there's a demand, and that a lot of people would prefer to stay within their community, but
within an affinity space. We have to respond, and needs and desires change all the time, so we want to respond to this community.
Just to reply to
oh
thank you, sorry. Just to reply to that really quickly, as a member of the BIPOC community and people's culture, just my own personal feedback, and maybe something you can take and make it more explicit. I enjoyed that the first 3 classes had financial support, and I believe level 4 had for our situation, we had a reduced price, and then I was more than happy to pay for an advanced class. I think having that expectation from the get-go would be something that you can consider. Just let people know, hey, we have this much, you have time before the payment becomes more prominent, and that I think would allow people to think, am I committed to this? Am I just going to take level 1 and then this isn't for me? Am I at level 3 and now I'm thinking, okay, this is something that I want to support and stay within? I I think if you just give people the opportunity to know that and commit to
Yeah.
it for
Right.
themselves, then you can find people who are then hungry for more.
Exactly right.
great.
I think we just need to communicate out that and what a new structure is, and maybe, instead of like we've been hearing from the BIPOC classes for a while that this is a want. So we definitely have to just make that plan. I really, it's definitely something we need to consider. And I just put up the advanced study class, and I was like, within like 2 hours it was sold out. So
All in the group
it's like,
chat.
yeah. I think everybody said, "Go get it," and I was like, "Yeah, great." So, hey, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah.
So about auditions, I think in the past I've had some frustration around a lack of transparency into how like casting decisions are made. I know that there are grades and scores of some rubric given, but my understanding is that at the end of the day, some people in a room talk and decide. And I've heard that the audition, like sometimes people have their own opinions of people that may or may not correlate to how they did in an audition.
Sure.
And I know that feedback is a heavy lift when there's so many people who audition, but being able to like see our scores on some of those things.
Sure, I hear what you're saying. The scores are a data point. I would not want to release those only because they are just one factor in consideration, and I don't want people to then hold themselves as like, I am a 3, I am a 2.
Also like someone giving a 5 is like a 5 for them, and like it's like it's just hard.
Just so you understand the process, and fully and I am open to any improvements people have. It's a big thing to take on. The biggest challenge is that we don't have the same panelists at all the auditions, so it's always going to be subjective. So by gathering as much data as we can by these scores, and just so people know, if your score, with the way we think about it, and we're seeing people in all stages of their journey with improv. So your score is also capturing that. Like we know, like if you're at a 3, that means you're on your way. You're just not on the same level as someone has 10 plus years experience on you. So that's part of it. And then, when we get in the room and talk about it, like I was saying, we also capture our demographic data to hold ourselves accountable and to make sure our teams are diverse in that. And we have been casting a lot of teams and opportunities with a mix of experiences, like that question brought up of like, can you have teams with a mix of experience? We do that. I should have said that before. We do that. It just kind of depends on where they fit in, whether the Herald teams are very much for developing, or if someone's new to the community and needs a way in. The subjective part of it, the like people who have context, like I said, our faculty are the panelists. They're going to have more context on someone they taught. We can't say that doesn't come into play, but we really do try to hold our feet to the fire and say, well, but their audition wasn't great, and we have to consider that because it's improv. Audition is, again, it's taking all the data and trying to be as fair as we can. So it gets really complicated, and I don't really have a great answer on how to fix it or how to make it more like objective.
Molly, if I could just offer, I started in November of 24. So the January audition was my first time seeing the audition. So I was that little person I was the person in the back just watching, observing, and seeing what was happening and how it was run. And it is a monumental thing of trying to get 150 people in here. And then the second, in July, I had a little bit more of input that I was trying to look at people. But for me as a director, I've cast people not from the audition I was having for that particular show, but later on. It was me as a director seeing you going, okay, maybe not for this show, but yes, and I'm going to think about that. The goal also is eventually, when you have an artistic director, trying to then put people on the right teams together that match and utilize their skill sets. That's what needs to happen. Or if you see a team and saying, hey, this team is not just quite right, but let's take this person and put them on their team because we need an energy person, or we need a supportive player. That's what an artistic director needs to do to really make the teams thrive. So if we have 140 people audition and we have 70 opportunities that we're casting, that means 70 people are not getting cast. And so some of it is first-time auditions, experience. We're going to try to make, instead of 10, do to 8. That should be the experience a little bit. Offering these audition workshops, you know, of just what to expect. And then, what are we looking for? Yeah.
So I think something else I heard that I think was sort of hinted at in this presentation was, I've heard that after auditions there's kind of like a short list of people that maybe directors who weren't at the auditions can like, all right, well you can cast from this list. And I think that's, well, one, I don't think that's widely known. I've had to like speak to very particular people to learn that information. But even like, I don't know, I've gotten feedback from auditions where I'm like, okay, this seems like pretty minor, like what could I do better? And just at least like, hey, like you were on this list, good job. Could be good to know for certain people, like.
Yeah.
'Cause it's hard to feel like, did I do good?
No,
there could be people who feel really great about being on that list. There could also be people who are like really frustrated. Like I did good and I still didn't get cast. So it's
and
that's fair. At least
and
people should know that that's how it works.
Sure, and to kind of go back and explain a little about how that works is we like I said, we're trying to collect as much data points so that we can make the best decisions. Part of what we also do is it's the score, it's the feedback, and also recommendation. Like, I think this person belongs in this category of like this show. So that's kind of how we get that list together, is like, oh, these are the people that are overwhelmingly recommended to be in the show run. So again, we have a discussion and we look at because it's always pretty clear who's at the top and who's at the bottom. But you have that like 60% in the middle that there needs to be a discussion, there needs to be a lot that's looked at, and it's not a perfect process. And I understand the need for transparency, but at the same time, like, it doesn't, sometimes it causes more problems than solutions. And like I said, I want to open up, and we haven't solved this yet, but like, how do we open up this list to more producers in a way that's productive? I don't know if we are. Maybe we'll decide that it's not a good idea.
And then it's also finding additional shows that like when Chris and Lauren came to me to say, hey, I have this idea, 7 Men in Heaven, and had a 2-page pitch, and then had a phone call with me. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I you produce the storytelling show. I'm up for this. So that is just 7 people that can also be in a casting pool that might not be on a regular team or might not be on something else or in Aardvark.
So that's another thing that has confused me is that, so like we'll have these auditions, there'll be, 2 specific directed shows that you kind of know about ahead of time. And then like other shows will pop up here and there, and it's not always clear like how do those shows get cast? Did the producers just say, I like these people? Or even when you're handing this list out to co-producers, they're gonna pick people they know before they pick people they don't know if they didn't see the audition.
Sure.
And so it just kind of creates.
Well, the other side of that is it's also going to give them access to names they didn't have, because they would have just chose the people they know anyway.
That's
so,
true.
we can't cast and be in charge of every show, so the producers take on that responsibility, and we don't give them specific guidelines on how to cast. I mean, this is like you know, it's like if you think about it as applying to a college, you want to have like, oh, and I'm volunteering and I'm showing up and I hang out and I talk to people. Like, it's something where you just kind of have to get involved and advocate for yourself, and it's it's kind of the beast that this is like, you know, you're gonna it takes a while to kind of find where you fit and the people you enjoy performing with and creating with, and sometimes that means making your own thing or creating your own opportunities, and there's not a one-size-fits-all answer for all performers. So,
Mostly just the like process transparency.
Totally, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been evolving and changing as we've done it. Every time it gets a little bit better, and I hope to keep improving it. And would love any ideas if people have ever done similar work and have some solutions there.
Yeah.
We're about 10 after. I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
be cognizant of everybody's time. But we've got a couple more. So yeah.
I for about 9.5 years worked in auditions for like live musicians.
Oh, cool.
So different, but it was sort of like we had you play with our live band and kind of jump in with your instrument and see how you did that kind of thing.
Sure.
And then are you approved to play with this instrument, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And then there was personality and, you know, like what sort of level are you at, that kind of thing. But there's always a points-based kind of a thing, and there's always like a little bit of a personality-based thing. And so I get that feeling, because I'm just a student, right? I get that feeling of like, where do I fall on the list? And never smart, and I'm like I actually am totally happy to talk about audition stuff. Like
Yeah, we could talk offline.
yeah, but like if you were gonna go take an acting class and you wanted to go audition for a play or something, like you're either gonna get it or you're not.
Sure.
And nobody's gonna. But the thing is like you can go and go, hey, I thought I did a really good job, and you can talk to the person. You know what I mean? Like, and you can ask the question. I don't think it's wise ever to do the. Okay, so.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I think just often the like, you know, oh, I request feedback, get feedback, and I'm like, this is kind of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, and it is hard to capture detailed feedback because you're seeing, and I'm hoping with the smaller groups this time it'll improve some of the feedback. But again, like feedback should be considered like a bonus and not a given, because that's just the nature of the beast with auditions.
Yeah, John Taylor.
I'd just like to add something real quick too, just as a part of the faculty and being a part of the auditions is like something that Freed brought up, and I think it's really great, is like I think a lot of the faculty would love to give more feedback. We don't ever want to feel, I'll speak for myself personally, I would never give somebody feedback they never asked for, but as I continue teaching and more people are taking the classes, I love seeing shows, I want to see people do well, I want to see them grow and get excited about their problems, so please come find me and ask me for feedback. I think the auditions are, you'd be surprised at how much people also carry on the growth that people see, the extracurriculars that we're talking about. It's like the advocacy doesn't end at the auditions, and that doesn't mean people are being rewarded for that, but I think there is a lot in terms of a full scope that doesn't always get communicated effectively in these town halls, and I think we do a lot of conversations about like this meritocracy idea, and what it really is a conversation about helping people find their voices and putting them in a position to do so.
That's great.
I understand that sometimes it doesn't feel like you're on the positive side of that always, but I just want that to be known, like as somebody who's not there, who volunteers their time because I just want to see everyone get to participate in comedy the way they want to. So it's like whatever we can do to get the that tide raised, that's the kind of stuff I think I think the whole community can do better. So I just want to say that.
Thank you, John. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Sure.
Please don't. Whatever that is, don't do that.
There's gonna be a line next to John at the end of this meeting.
I think we gotta.
I'll be the
wrap up
first
for
one
time.
in line. Yeah. Maybe we have time for one last question because of time. Anything pressing?
You can also hang out and talk to us if you feel like it's a non-public question too. So we'll be here for another little bit. Cool. You can always reach out to us.
Yeah.
Zimmer at, Kristen at, Paul at, Kickstand Comedy, Kara for operations.
With that, thank you. And Paul, any final words for the town hall?
Thank you for being part of this organization.
Yeah.
Right?
And
All right. And snacks.
Get that.
the recording and everything will be posted on the website under community events, so check that out. Yo.
General auditions, they're simply showcases. So I participated in so like that, some idea of that, like some partnership is kind of goes on calls for the idea of coming. Curious.
Oh, generals for all?
Like some sort of partnership, or at least I'm looking at like, hey, let's open the house. It's something I haven't thought of for a comedy space.